So according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, those junk fees, those extra surcharges, you know, they make your concert tickets more expensive, your hotel reservations, that's what always gets me, and a lot more. But these fees cost Americans at least $29 billion every single year.
Wow. And in response, Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal has introduced new legislation to combat these hidden fees, and he joins us there now from D.C. Senator, so good to see you. Thank you for being here on GMA3. Listen, in President Biden's State of the Union speech last month, he called on Congress to act on these junk fees. This bill is the response. How would it work, and what services would be affected?
It would affect all of those services where consumers are charged hidden, excessive, and deceptive fees. For example, those resort charges when you stay in a hotel, up to $90. When you get on an airplane to sit with your kids or carry on a bag, more money. Concert fees, $50 added without disclosure. Prohibit all of those fees. Get rid of them. And, you know, when the president made that remark in his State of the Union, he received a standing ovation, both sides of the aisle. So I think we're going to have a lot of support for enforcement against those added charges that are undisclosed. We're going to require that they be told to the consumer up front, and federal authorities would enforce those kinds of prohibitions and disclosure requirements.
Right, that's always part of the battle. I think sometimes people forget. You get a law in place, but it has to be enforced for it to work. So in your opinion, what will this bill, what kind of impact will it really have on the average American's wallet? And what would you say, is anyone concerned with, you know, these junk fees, maybe they go away? Will that just mean that the base price becomes higher?
That is a key question. And the fact of the matter is, right now, we have a system of competition that isn't working because those fees are undisclosed. In other words, you can make judgments about what is preferable, whether you want to go to a concert or not, but when you're hit all of a sudden with surprise fees after you buy the ticket, there's no way for you to know or for competition to work. So I think those undisclosed fees would go away because consumers would see what they're getting and what they're paying for it, whether it's an airplane or a hotel or cable, you know, those early termination fees. If you knew about them, you'd go somewhere else. And competition would do a lot of the work that we need to abolish or eliminate those hidden, concealed junk fees.
75% of Americans want to see action taken on these junk fees. So how confident are you that there really is enough support on Capitol Hill to pass this bill? I mean, I know you mentioned the standing ovation, but do you think there's really enough support to get this thing through?
I'll be very blunt and honest. The industries involved here, whether they're hotels, airlines, ticket companies, they have enormous sway here. They're going to hire armies of lobbyists and lawyers to oppose this measure. It's bread and butter, dollars and cents for them. But I think we have the American people on our side. People are really sick and tired of being nickel and dimed in the way that's happening right now. And I'm hoping they will make their views known to their members of Congress and senators, and that we will muster a powerful majority here and overcome the lobbying from those industries.
Senator, I want to switch gears here and turn to this week's tragic school shooting in Nashville. You tweeted that if we can't ban assault weapons, let's at least restrict high-capacity magazines. Is that likely to happen, sir?
I think that we have a moment here, and we ought to seize it. It's a moment similar to Uvalde. Every one of these tragedies inflicts lasting trauma on the communities where they occur, but also they really enable us to muster a majority of the American people, as we did with the Safer Communities Act last August. We made some progress on mental health, on better background checks, on red flag laws, closing the boyfriend loophole. I think maybe on magazines, where shooters are using these 50 and 100 round magazines that they don't have to reload. In Sandy Hook, when the shooter had to reload, children escaped. That happens many times in these mass tragic shootings. So restricting the size of magazines, safe storage, requiring that these weapons be secured so that children and people who are dangerous don't have access to them. These kinds of more modest measures, I think, have a chance for bipartisan support. I'd love to see a ban on assault weapons, but that's an uphill battle, and I don't think we're going to be able to do it.
I know you've said in the past that even if we can't stop all the killers with a gun, we can at least make the attacks more deadly with something like banning those high-capacity weapons. Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal, our thanks to you for your time today.
Thank you.
Yeah, such an important conversation to keep having.
Absolutely.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.